Hey everyone, welcome back to Scrubbed In. Today we're diving into an incredibly important topic, ARVs or antiretrovirals, the medications used to treat HIV. In South Africa, ARVs have revolutionized HIV management, giving millions of people a chance to live long and healthy lives. Let's break down the different types of ARVs, how these meds work to stop HIV in its tracks, and the standard treatment regimen in South Africa. First off, what are ARVs? The term antiretroviral comes from the fact that HIV is a retrovirus. Hence, they are anti against retroviruses. HIV is a tricky virus because it integrates itself into our cells and uses them to replicate. If left untreated, HIV weakens the immune system, which can eventually lead to AIDS. But with ARVs, we can stop the virus from replicating and allow the immune system to recover. There are several types or classes of ARVs. Each work at different stages of the HIV replication cycle. Please refer back to our video on the HIV replication cycle if you need a refresher on the steps. I'll link it below. Now, let's break down how each class works directly on the replication cycle. Our first class are entry inhibitors, which act on the attachment and the entry step, blocking the virus from binding to the CD4 plus receptor on immune cells and entering the cell. Maraviroc is an example, though it's not commonly used in first-line treatments. Our next class are the NRTIs, or nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors. It blocks the reverse transcription step, where the virus converts its RNA into DNA using an enzyme called reverse transcriptase. These act by mimicking the building blocks of DNA, known as nucleotides, that HIV uses to copy its RNA into DNA. When the virus tries to incorporate these faulty versions, it stops the chain of DNA from growing. Common examples include tenofovir and emtricitabine. Our third class are the NNRTIs, or the non-nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors. Like NRTIs, NNRTIs act at the reverse transcription step. But instead of mimicking nucleotides, they disable the enzyme itself, hence non. These bind directly to the reverse transcriptase enzyme, changing its shape and stopping it from working. An example is ephedrins. Our fourth class are the INSTIs, or integrase strand transfer inhibitors. INSTIs block the integration step, preventing HIV from establishing itself inside the cell's DNA. Once HIV's DNA is made, it needs to integrate into the host cell's DNA to start replicating. INSTIs, like dolutegravir, stop the integrase enzyme from inserting the viral DNA into the host genome. Next, we have the PIs, or protease inhibitors. These act on the assembly and budding stage. HIV makes long chains of proteins that need to be cut into smaller functional pieces. Protease inhibitors block the protease enzyme, preventing the virus from assembling these final pieces, preventing newly made virus particles from becoming mature and infectious. Examples include lopinavir and ritonavir. By combining drugs from these different classes, we hit the virus at multiple steps, reducing its ability to replicate and keeping the viral load in the blood at undetectable levels. In South Africa, the Department of Health has guidelines for a standard first-line treatment. For most people, the recommended combination is a single pill regimen called TLD, which includes tenofovir, an NRTI, lamivudine, also an NRTI, and dolutegravir, an INSTI. This combination is highly effective, well tolerated, and only needs to be taken once a day orally. It's part of what we call HAART, which stands for Highly Active Antiretroviral Therapy, designed to prevent HIV from replicating and preventing resistance. For certain individuals, like those with kidney issues or pregnant women, adjustments may be made to the regimen, but TLD is the go-to for most people. In South Africa, the standard PEP, known as post-exposure prophylaxis, is recommended for anyone who has been exposed to HIV, such as a healthcare worker after accidental exposure, or individuals who have had unprotected sex with someone who may be HIV positive. It is an emergency treatment, so it's important to seek medical care immediately after potential exposure. The regimen often includes a combination of tenofovir, lamivudine, and dolutegravir, which are the same ARVs used in HIV treatment. It is important to complete the full 28-day course of PEP to maximize its effectiveness. Before we wrap up, I want to test your knowledge with a few quick questions. Feel free to pause the video and think about your answers. After you've had a go, I'll reveal the answers on the screen. Question 1. What does HAART stand for, and why is a multi-drug approach used? Take a moment to pause and think. Here's the answer. Question 2 is, what are the 3 classes of antiretroviral drugs used in combination to treat HIV, and can you give an example of each? Pause the video and list them out. Here's the answer. Question 3. Can you describe the mechanisms of actions of NRTIs, NNRTIs, and PIs? Pause the video and try to recall each class. Here's the answer. To wrap it up, ARVs are a game changer in the fight against HIV. Remember, treatment is lifelong, but with ARVs, people can live healthy lives and reduce the risk of transmitting the virus. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and ring the bell for more content. And don't forget to check out our HIV replication video if you haven't already. Thanks for watching Scrubbed In, and I'll see you in the next video.